Although it may not seem very obvious at first glance, there is a direct relationship between the design of Mechagodzilla and the Transformers film saga directed by Michael Bay. And this is something that Adam Wingard, director of Godzilla vs. Kong, he explained recently, as we can read on the comic book portal. In past movies, the visual reinterpretation of the protagonists of Godzilla vs. Kong. Thus, in Gareth Edwards' Godzilla, 2014, it was chosen to return to a visual aesthetic that resembles the classic Godzilla of Japanese cinema and will move away from the Hollywood version of 1998. The same happened with the King Kong that we could see in Skull Island, closer to the classic interpretations of the character than to the latest versions that visited the celluloid. This time the debut was the turn of Mechagodzilla, the most iconic mechanical beast in the Godzilla universe, and as happened with his huge castmates, it was time to go through the pencils of the artists for a redesign that updated the concept. Adam Wingard has talked about how this process was, and one of the keys to its design is precisely in Transformers 3. I remember seeing the third Transformers movie in the cinema. We arrived late and the only seats that were available were literally in the front row. And so I was sitting watching Transformers 3 in the front row, and I couldn't know what the hell was going on. The Transformers simply looked like metal. They looked like a plane crash. So I thought that was something to avoid. They were too complex. There were too many moving parts and I couldn't hook myself to anything visually. Nothing seemed iconic to me with that Transformers design. That seems to have been the starting point for a Mechagodzilla design that pursues a more forceful visual impact, in which the viewer can stop to look at the set and understand the relationships between the different pieces of it. Something that Guillermo del Toro also pursued very successfully in his designs for Pacific Rim. Wingard makes his idea clear by adding the following. I have always liked the simplicity of Transformers designs. So I tried to create an appearance that was shocking and had a little more simplicity. There is immediacy in its shape and contour. As a director, it's exciting because I can finally put my stamp on the monsters. Godzilla and Kong had already been redesigned for the MonsterVerse. It is curious how the decisions of some directors end up influencing the future work of others. Transformers saw the light of day at a very different time for commercial cinema, and on his journey he insisted on providing his characters with a greater complexity that would distance the viewer from understanding his design. The path followed by Wingard seems to be the opposite, and for the moment it seems that it is enjoying it. What did you think of the appearance of this new Mechagodzilla?